welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. Today we're going to be looking at adding in, we're going to start doing a series of episodes where we explore swapping the creatures in and out of different scenarios. So in the party menu, in the in battle, and obviously in the storage box. Now, each three of these ways are done very differently, so I'm going to split them out into their own individual episodes, but there is already ways I could improve on it, but that would require almost changing my entire system. So it is a little bit annoying. It's a bit sad that I've had to kind of do it this way, but unfortunately that's kind of how it's going to have to be. Because again, swapping out the whole entire system would require us to do a lot. I mean, almost rework the whole code. So that's kind of where we're at. But to begin, we're going to start with doing them in battle. And to do them in battle, we're going to have to look at our battle widget and our battle box, our battle code. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the widget, because that's kind of the simple part. So let's go into our battle widget. While we're at it, we're going to open up the battle proxy as well. Let's give that a second to open. There we go. And we're also going to open up our battle proxy, which is in here. So let's go to the event graph, and I don't know why I've got that. Get rid of that branch, we don't need it. Okay, won't let me delete it for some reason. Fine, okay, you stay there then. So where is switch out information? There we go. Okay, so we got to switch out information. Let's go into the graph. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is kind of decide how you want your party stuff to look. I've got mine set up as kind of it's just an image that appears on here. So you'll need 3 kind of buttons with an image on the top of it if you want to go like mine, or if you want yours to look like how Pokemon's does, you need to design yours how you want to do it. But basically you should have 6 buttons there for you to press. That's what we kind of need. And what we're going to be doing now is the same thing we've done with our capture button and our attack button, that when we press that, when we press this party button, we need it to design the buttons and kind of tell us what we need. So we've got on clicked of, no, that's the wrong thing. We've got on clicked of party button. And the first thing we're going to check is we're going to create a Boolean called party active, and we're going to check to see if that's true. If it is true, we're going to set it to not active, and we're going to hide our 6 party buttons. Those, as I said, you'll need 6 buttons. Now, the thing you do need to remember is obviously on our capture button and our attack button, we need to make sure that we are setting them to false when we're setting these true. So just don't forget to set these booleans back to false, and also add in the set visibility of the party buttons to hidden for both of these as well. Because what you don't want to have happen is you press on, you're like, I'm going to change my party member, you're like, actually I'm going to change my mind, I'm going to attack, and then when you press to attack, it doesn't hide those party buttons. It's gonna break. So you need to make sure you're hiding those buttons, and you're also setting your party to false on those other ones. So going back to our party button, as you can see, we've got attack going to false, and we've got capture going to false. So that if either of those are open, it resets those back to false and will hide both of those things. So as you can see, we've got all of the capture information and all of the move information being set to hidden. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cast our 3rd person character, and we're going to get the Ringmon party. And what we're going to do is we're checking our slots, and we need to know if these slots are active. So we're doing a sequence. We're going to do 0 to 5 on our sequence, which is the 6 Ringmon party slots. And for each one, we're getting slot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. We're breaking all of their information. We're getting this slot set. And that's the first thing we're checking. Is this slot set? Now, if it's false, we want the visibility to be hidden. And that goes the same for all of them. So we're checking the slot. We're checking if it's false. Now, if it's true and it is set, we then need to determine, is it shiny, or if it's non-shiny. That's because we want to set our image to the shiny or the non-shiny version, depending on what it is. So we're going to do one last branch check to check if it's shiny or not. If it is shiny, we're going to set the visibility, the brush to the shiny one. If it's not shiny, we're going to set. If it's not shiny, yeah, we're going to set to the non-shiny image, and then we're just going to set the visibility of that button to true. It's visible. So it's very simple, very long-winded, but it is very simple. Someone pointed out to me in the Discord that there is a far simpler way of doing this, which is you can make an array. Now, in hindsight, you're going to learn something over the next few episodes. The party struct that we have created for our 6 Ringmon potentially would have been better if we had that set up as the entire party and our storage boxes. If we had made them all one joint array, that would have probably made it run a little bit smoother and a little bit easier. But hindsight's a wonderful thing. There's not much we can do about it, sadly, at this point, because we're so far into the code. But if you're just starting out and you're checking out this video, you could do that as a kind of preempted thing and do it that way instead. But yeah, so we have to break it all individually and do it that way. We could have made it an array, but we didn't, such as life. And that's fine. We're not going to go back and change all of that now, because if we did, it's going to be a lot of work. So once you've set all this up, that should be the actual visual side of things done for your party and being able to pick what you want. And then we're going to do something very similar to our move slots and our capture slots, etc. In the sense that what we're going to do is, wherever I've done it, there should be an on party clicked. Where is it? Here it is. So when we're switching our party, what we're going to do is an on clicked of all of those buttons. So party slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to do an on clicked. And when we click that, what we're going to do is we're going to set the selected party ID. And that is 0 to 5, which is our usual party index setup. And we're then going to set the visibility of those party buttons to hidden. I then have a text box come up saying switch out current Ringmon, in which it then makes a video that text box appear, and then it says switch button or cancel button. Oh no, there's a switch button and a cancel button, and it sets the visibility of those to true. And then we have two options where we can either say no, we don't want to swap our Ringmon, so we can say cancelled, which will set those party things back to visible and hide the cancel switch and main text box again. If we click on the switched button, now this is something very similar to what we've done in the past. We get our battle proxy target and we check it's valid. We then pass through to a new event on our BPI, which is called change party member, and I'll show you that in a moment. We hide everything else, and then we click on that selected party ID. If I show you the BPI next, it's again very, very simple what we've done, but I'll show you anyway. If we go into here and into here, it should be in here, right? If I remember correctly. There it is. So we have obviously the original sort of move press. We've got the capture creature, use item, run from battle, but we've got this change party member, and all I've done is add an integer into it, and this means we can pass through that information back and forth. So once all this is set up, we can go into the battle proxy, set up a new area to work in, and we've got this event change party member, the one we created in the BPI. Now, this is basically going to swap in and out our creature. We want to get our selected party creature that we've got out currently. We want to say, okay, break it to get the creature information and get the name. And then we say, this is a bit ahead of myself, sorry. We get that party ID from the event, and we're checking to see if it's equal to the current party index that is out. So, for example, if I tried to change, if Tailflame was out and I tried to change it to Tailflame, it's going to pick up on this and say, okay, they actually are equal, and we say, then that's when we say, okay, they are true. So we're going to get the text of that main text box. Hence why back on this on the widget, I didn't hide the main text box. You can see here, I'm always doing the main text box, but on this one, this particular one, I'm not. That's because I want it to stay open. And that's because when we come through into here, the battle proxy takes over and does the checks. So we get that main text box, and we're setting that text if this is equal to equal. And what we're saying is we're getting the selected party mom, we're getting the creature info, we're getting the name, and we're just saying this name is already out. And then we set that to the text. So it'll come up saying, so if Tailflame was out, it'll say Tailflame is already out. And then we are setting the visibility back to visible here. I think that's just a secondary precaution. And then what we're doing is we're leaving a 2-second delay. We're then setting everything to hidden, and we're setting the party active to false. We're getting all that from this battle UI reference we made way back in the day. Now, what if this doesn't equal? So let's say it's not our third ring 1 creature. Well, it's going to come back false, and then we're going to do a checked switched ring 1 health. So let's have a look at this. Okay, so this is just a health check. Okay, so go back a second. Right. Event graph. So if it comes up false, we need to then check to see if the current ringmon we want to send out has enough health. So to do that, what we're doing is we're doing a check to find the ringmon in our ringmon party. So again, if we're saying we want to send out the third ringmon in our party, it's going to go, okay, does it equal party slot index 0, 1, 2, 3? Okay, we found 3. We break to get its HP, and we say, is its HP above 1? Because there shouldn't be any scenario where our ringmon doesn't have 1 or 0. So if it's over 1, if it's equal to 1 or over, sorry, I should say even, it must be have enough health to fight, right? So we say, okay, it equals that, and does it have enough health? If that's true, we can switch. But if it's false, we cannot switch, and then we go back to do whatever we want to do. So you can do this for every single one. Obviously, I was just giving you one example there, but you need to kind of copy and paste that down for all of the slots so that they get an individual health check. Now, again, going back to it, if we had made this into an array, we'd be able to do this a lot easier. But we didn't, so we kind of have to suffer the consequences of doing it all separately. But yeah, so just to recap this thing, because it can be a little bit daunting looking at all this, we're doing a Boolean check to see if it equals the party slot index. Once it is true, we then want to do a health check for that ringmon and say, okay, is it above 1? If it is, we can switch. And if it's not, we can't switch. And then we return node. Because we're only ever going to be looking at swapping in one creature at a time, this works fine. So it'll just run down the file into the line of branches here till it finds that one creature, and then it will fire at that creature if it can. So if we go back and we say okay, then we get that can switch boolean, and we're doing one final branch check to say can it switch. If it comes back that its health is below 0, it will come up onto the main text box. So and so can't Ringmon can't battle. I could do it that it's the name, but you know, whatever. We say Ringmon can't battle. Again, that's why we set that visibility there as well. And then it does the same thing where it just ends that thing. It just says, okay, you can't do it, and it hides the party swap. But what if it comes back as over 1 health? Okay, so we're going to go down the true, so it can be switched. We go down the true. We set this all to hidden now. You could add into the main text box, actually. So I've just realized here we don't want to add that one in because we still want to use this. I didn't notice that. So it's going to come up saying, so it should come up saying, selected party mon. So we're going to hide these cancel buttons, switch buttons again, just to make sure. They should already be hidden, but it's like more of a double check, I guess. Selected party mon. We get the creature information, we get its name, and we say name return. So again, if it's Tailflame, we say Tailflame return. Okay? And then we wait for a second. We then destroy Tailflame. He goes. We destroy that party actor. We then get the text box again, and we're setting it to the new creature, which is the selected Ringmon. And we're getting that from here. That's why we out that slot information. I could use this actually to get the name to plug into Ringmon Can't Battle. So we, instead of having Ringmon Can't Battle, we could have Tailflame Can't Battle as an example. So we get that, we say go, let's say Maggie, go, Maggie, right? And then we set that as the new text. Then we spawn that selected slot as the party creature. And then we say we went first, so it becomes the enemy turn. And with setting that, and then the enemy having their go, it means they get to attack after we've swapped, and then the turn ends by setting this P first. As you can see up here, did the player go first? If true, we end turn. If false, it's the player's turn. So it's important to add that in at this point. If we can't swap for whatever reason, we haven't used our turn up, so we would just go back to either attacking or swapping to a different creature, etc. Now, it's as simple as that, and that should get you your creature swapped in battle. Now, looking at the widget, the designer, there is a couple of quality of life things that could be added into here. Mainly on the if I hide what I'm looking at now, sorry, let's have a look. Hide. Let's bring, oh gosh, hold on. Oh, I see what I've done here. I've done that wrong. Hide those. Where's the capture buttons? Capture buttons. And then if we say, okay, let's look at, where is it? Where are you? I also don't want those up either. So if we look at just the party stuff, you can see that it's just an image. So the quality of life thing would be to actually just show you the health, or grayscale out the image if it has 0 health. Very easy, both of those things to do. It's just getting it set up. If you want to go ahead and add that, all you need to do is at the end of this happening here, where we set everything to hidden or visible, on the visible you would also set you would basically add in 6 If you're going to grayscale it, you would just say, okay, are we setting this? Is it true? Is the slot set? When you're doing everything else, you would just set image to. You would do a health check, and then set that image to grayscale or to colored, depending on the health. If you want a progress bar, you need to have it so that when you click on that button, it gets the health, sets that as the progress bar, and makes it visible. Both very easy things to do, just a little bit long-winded. And to show you it working in battle, let's hit play. Drag that over here, and we'll click on. We'll take her badger. Come on, her badger. We're going on an adventure. We'll capture a creature, and then we'll try and swap it in battle. So we've got Maggie. I still haven't fixed the person here. I still need to do that. I haven't got that far yet. Lots still to do in this game. And we'll just keep bashing it until we can capture it, maybe. Let's give it a go. And we call it. Nice. And then we'll start another fight, and what we'll do is we'll just try swapping it out, see what happens. Here we go. And if we click on our party, you can see both of our parties. If I click on him, yeah, we'll switch. Her badger is already out. It hides that, so we click on the party again, and we say switch this ring one out. Yes. Her badger return. Go Maggie, and we have Maggie out now. Now there's obviously some quality of life things. A bit of animation needs to go in there. Fix the camera positions a little bit, but overall the process is done. So Maggie got to attack us because we didn't have a go, but it's not hidden that go Maggie. I need to fix that, and now I can't press the buttons because of it. Let's just quickly fix that. So because we have all of this going on, what we need to do right at the end there is just hide one last thing, which is that there we go, just hide the main text box there, and by doing that, that should fix that issue. The reason I couldn't push that button is because it's under that text box, and if it's under that text box will block it. So that's how you fix that, and it should be good to go. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. Hopefully it's been valuable to you guys, and thank you so much for all the support you've given me so far. Really appreciate it, and I will see you guys very soon. Much love. Take care. Bye.